First off, if you're watching this at this very moment, good for you. You are in a select, exclusive group of people. And you'll see, this video will do very poorly because the vast majority, they're going to see the title, the ugly side. No, I don't want the ugly side. I want to see people making money. I want to see that glitz and glamour, day trader lifestyle. I don't want to see the ugly side. No. And they won't even watch it. But if you're watching this, that tells me that you want the full picture. In other words, you're trying to ground expectations in line with reality. That way, when reality shows up, you can sit there and say, well, yeah, this is what I expected. Because I remember watching that one goofy looking guy's video, and he said things would be ugly, and he showed me an example of it being ugly. So yeah, I didn't think it was always gonna be perfect. I knew ugly existed. So seriously, that is fantastic for you. You are in a very exclusive club of people. And in this video, I want to walk you through a trade that unfortunately for me just happened, but it really illustrates the ugly side of trading. And I want to just use it to encourage you that, you know what, when this happens to you, that's okay. That happens. It's going to happen. It's going to continue to happen. With that being said, I do want to also make a note that if you find this sort of situation happening over and over again, or happening most of the time, 50% of the time, then that's going to tell you something's not quite right with your strategy. There's some things that need to be fine-tuned because, yes, what you're about to see happens, but does it happen to me like half the time, most of the time? No, it's one of those rare occurrences. When it happens, you almost kind of just got to laugh about it because you're like, okay, wrong place, wrong time, nothing worked. In fact, as you'll see, the market even rubbed some salt in the wounds, built up a little bit of hope before just crushing it. And that's what's going to occur. So that's the one distinction I do want to make is if you find these sorts of situations happening quite often, then okay, that's going to be a sign for you that you need to work on some things, which is okay because you're trying to learn and that's part of the journey. So no shame there at all. The only part that would be shameful is if you're kind of just in denial about it. But like I said, that goes back to the very opening statement. If you're watching this video, you're not in denial. You are treating this seriously and you want to get better. So let me walk you through this trade and you'll just see the ugly side of trading. Now, some slight context here. I am trading options. That's more so besides the point. If you want to learn more about options, just comment down below option or option guide. I will link you to a free class I put together. But what you need to know is that I want to see the price go down. If the price goes down, I will have a chance at making money because I have bought what is known as a put option. But all you need to know, price coming down is a good thing for me. If the price goes up, that is a bad thing. And I was looking at this and saying, I mean, the price was down here. Now it's all the way up there. That's pretty stretched. That's pretty overextended. I think it'll at least pull back and, back test that area of former resistance. And then even if it, heads back up, oh well. But you know what? Even if it doesn't go down there, even if it just goes half of that distance right there, even that right there would give me plenty of wiggle room to get out for what I like to call a sniper shot type trade. So I'm trying to go very modest in all this. And I was just filled. So I have my option right there. I got one contract. And what I want you to now pay attention to is this number over here. And you'll see that change to 10, which is what I want. I want to see it change to 10. But the thing is, it's got to go up to, technically speaking, at least $10.10, because that would mean that I'm able to exit the trade. So let's get this playing. So I am, like I said, in. And check it out. Let's watch over here. And you can see right there, 10. Look, just sitting there, sitting there, sitting there, sitting there. The market just teasing me, and then you can see right there, that turned into a very big green candle. So at this point, I cancel that order out because I'm thinking, okay, I got to go into loss control mode on this one. This has officially just absolutely exploded against me. So I'm not going to panic out though, because vast majority of times, you're going to get some sort of pullback. I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to let this thing pull back a little bit. I'm no longer trying to make money on it. Let's just minimize the loss, and it is what it is. So you can see right there, I have 9 typed in there because I'm thinking, all right, let me throw it out there at 9. I'll take a $50 loss on it. This thing just needs to pull back a bit more. So right there, $9.10. So right now I'm going for, let me just see if I can get a $40 loss out of it. That's what I'm thinking. Surely this thing will pull back a little bit. Again, I don't need this thing to reverse. I don't need a massive pullback, just a little bit of a pullback. So that's what I am watching and waiting for. Again, I just want to see the price come down. And in my mind, okay, it's starting to hover up around here. Yeah, it's run out of steam. It'll at least pull back a little bit. I'll just live to fight another day. So I cancel that order out because I'm thinking, okay, time to let me just try something a little lower now. So you can see I've changed my order right there to $8.50. So I'm just sitting and waiting. Let's see what it wants to do. I'm thinking if it gives a little bit of a quick pullback, maybe I can even get a little bit more than $8.50. But in my mind, I'm not too panicked just because, I mean, this move was ridiculous. Like, this thing's not going to keep up, keep moving. And then that's exactly what it does. So now you can see, all right, maybe should I just be going for 7? But in my mind, okay, this thing, and I'm thinking, okay, it's starting to pull back here. So just waiting, okay. I mean, come on, this thing's got to pull back a little bit, right? Again, I don't need it to come anywhere close to that blue line. Not anywhere close, but at least I think it can pull back just a bit more. So it's just a waiting game right now of watching. And then it starts to move up a little bit. As you can see here, that candle's pushing a little bit higher. Again, I don't want to panic out with the way I do my loss control. And lots of times, instead of taking, what would have been a $100 loss, I'll make $10 or I'll lose $10. But if you panic out, then you're looking, you could be at a $100 loss, $150 loss. And more times than not, that's how that plays out. But sometimes you get into one of these things. It's just like, come on, you want to pull back, don't you? A little bit? Like, surely you want to pull back. And it does seem like it's running out of steam, right? These candles aren't getting very big. So it's like, okay, this thing has got to be getting ready to pull back a little bit more. And then just like that, you might want to scroll back, but that candle takes shape. Now again, right here, we're looking at a $415. You can see that was $415, $420. You can see right there, that's the loss where if I were to panic out right now, that's the loss that I'd be looking at. So like, no, I don't want to panic out. Let's just let this thing calm down a little bit. So that had been at, like I said, $420 at its peak. Granted, I could have gotten out when that thing was like minus 200. However, like I said, that's just a give and take. Sometimes things get ugly and they just don't work out at all, which is obviously the point of all this right now. So you can see right now, I am getting a bit of a pullback, which is good. And I'm thinking, okay, maybe we can get deeper of a pullback here. And I can try to salvage a bit more of this. So it's just a question of, all right, this thing's coming down more, which is good. So you can see right there, let's go for $750. Let's see if I can keep this thing at a $200 loss. Because this pullback has happened. I just want a little bit more. And it's pulling back some more. Did I get a little greedy here? Maybe I got a tad bit greedy, but I am also speaking in hindsight right now. Because right there, look, 750 was right there for a moment. Doesn't mean I would have been out. But at this point, it seemed to be very realistic that, okay, I was being right. 750 does seem like a possibility. So you can see right there, but I need that to go slightly above 750. But you can see right now, just not quite behaving. I change it to 7 now. So now I want to see, and then you can see this candle starting to recover back upwards. And I mean, just sitting here. Finally throw out an order for 6. And just like that, I am out for a $340 loss. So got stuck would not pull back, could add a much smaller loss, wiped away all my green on the day. Just ugly from every angle. And no, I don't want to show that trade. I get it. Like, and there might be some trolls show up. You're the worst trader ever. And hey, you know what? I actually understand your perspective if you watch this in isolation, because yeah, that was a really bad looking trade. Nothing went right. Nothing really I didn't get really any help anywhere. Now, the one thing I did do right is I'm glad I didn't completely just freak out when it was showing that $400 dollar mark. But to be fair also, if that thing would have kept rocketing, then that loss could have been bigger. But I mean, it got so overextended, it's like, surely that thing's gonna at least pull back a bit. And it did pull back a bit. So it was still a bigger loss than had I just hopped out right away. But that goes back to the talking point earlier with the way that it works but there's been a lot of situations where if you just panic out and you just get out right away and you hit, you hit at the minus 150 or minus 200, then in a lot of those situations, if you would have just been patient, you could add a small green, a break even, or a very minimal loss. Because yeah, prices will tend to come back in your favor a little bit. But when things get ugly like you saw here, yeah, sometimes the price just doesn't want to go in your favor barely at all. And then you have everything else kind of just work against you, and you end up giving back your gains, and it is what it is. But within the grand scheme of things, even with me going down, I think it was like $200 after that trade, or 190, something right around there, I'll be okay. But these trades happen. And when they happen to you, once again, assuming they're not happening on a pretty routine basis, in some sense, just laugh about it, say, you know what? That's just how it goes sometimes. Move on. It doesn't mean that you have to go rearrange your strategy. It doesn't mean your strategy's broken. It doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong per se. But you just got to move on from it and just realize that, you know what? Sometimes trading is ugly. So I hope this helps. It's not necessarily teach you anything in terms of you got to do this and you got to do that. But I just want your expectations in line with reality. And if I can share with you one of my trades that's embarrassing because it's so ugly, then you know what? I'll consider this a mission success, and I'll try to spin in my favor that this trade turned out to be a positive, because if it can help other people out, fantastic. And if anything, I'm speaking to myself right now. It's helping me out just to voice, you know what, Clay, that happens. It happens. And it always will happen, because there's no strategy that's perfect. There's no holy grail strategy. And when there's no holy grail strategy, that means sometimes you're going to experience some ugliness, and it is what it is. So I hope this helps. Have you ever had one of these trades before? Let me know down below. Has this gotten ugly? And if we can encourage one another, that's fantastic. But if you're still watching this right now, you are so in an exclusive group of people that you should be very, very proud of yourself. And you are definitely treating this seriously. So if you enjoyed this, hit the like button, leave a comment down below. Thanks for watching. And yeah, trading can sometimes be ugly. First off, thanks so much for watching the entire video. Real quick, before you go, I want to invite you to a live webinar, web class, training, workshop, online event, whatever you want to call it, but it will be me live revealing to you what I've discovered that has allowed me to transform myself from being an employee to being my own boss, including how I had only one losing day out of 73 days in total. I'm going to cover 3 keys that have helped me unlock profitable consistency within the markets. The first key is super weird, but in a productive type of way. The second key is super awesome because it quite literally is wired into our DNA as humans, making it very easy to use. But in a cruel way, this becomes a pitfall for many traders. I'll explain it all though, including how to avoid the pitfall that it creates for some. And yeah, the third key, when you hear it, sounds way too good to be true, but it's not, and I'll show you how it all works. Then at the end, I open it up for a question and answer session that is, again, totally live. Even if you can't make the live session, please still sign up, as it will be recorded, and you can go back and watch the replay that I will send you. Click the image on the screen or click the link down in the description box so you can get the date and time and claim your spot, which I should note is limited due to the fact that this truly is a live event. If you have any questions, let me know. If not, I'll be seeing you soon.